Well, good morning. All right. Well, it's Saturday, July 22nd, and I'm down here, just pulled in at Bible Grove, just kind of looking around, and man, we had a lot of rain, everything is soaked. Pulled in this morning, and our little baby deer and his mama were out at the driveway, ones that we saw last time we were down here. I think they kind of live around here. But everything down here has really gotten wet. Don't know what we'll get done today. If anything, just wanted to come down more than anything else just to put eyes on it and make sure that things are the way that we left them. We've had a lot of weather this week, a lot of storms. And I see a little bit of damage there, not damage, just limbs down and things like that. Here's something I did want to show you. This is the big post oak tree, and the guy that came out and did the cleanup for their last two trees for our power line, I asked him if he would take a look at it and take out those lower branches that were these two. There was one here and there's one there that went all the way across. And I mean, I don't even know if you can see how big those branches were. I mean, they're literally oak trees that spanned all the way over, way over here. And he dropped those for us and cleaned that tree up. And I think it will probably survive all that. All that looked like it was all dead anyway. You can see all of those lower branches were rotted inside. That poor old tree, boy, he has stood there for a long time. And we're going to let him keep standing there for a while, but we've got all this to clean up just to get them kind of out of the way so we can get back into those Jeep trails again. Maybe but the old tree is looking better. Boy, everything's green. Looks like it's a jungle in here. But look at how wet. All that's just soaked. Anyway, we're gonna mess around today, see what we can get into. Well, the ditch witch fired right up. And that's a pretty good machine. I've been thinking about selling it, and I've got it out there on Facebook Marketplace. I got a couple of people interested in it. But I call that thing the Swiss Army knife of dirt machinery because it'll do just about anything. And honestly, I probably just ought to keep it. I can't really justify selling it. It needs a few little things. It's got a couple little hydraulic leaks, but honestly, everything like that's got a couple of little hydraulic leaks. Worked about an hour. Didn't really have a plan, but worked about an hour with the Ditch Witch. And what I decided to do was to get that trail cleared where they had all these huge branches that had fallen. They fell from that tree, and there was a lot of root ball and a bunch of mess right in here that really kind of hindered us from driving the cars and the trucks up here. And I decided to get this all cleaned up. So this looks great now. I've graded all this area out. I've got to come back through here and kind of pick up all the trash. But I've got that in pretty good shape. Now I can come in here with a skid steer next time I've got that. And honestly, should have just waited, because you could do this with a skid steer in about 1/10 of the amount of time that you can do it with that machine. You can do a lot with that machine, but it's not the right thing for grading. But I'm gonna get the Jeep out and start it. It's pretty muddy. I mean, it's pretty squishy muddy. You can see just kind of how wet that is in certain places. So there's not a lot of dirt work that can be done in here. I was thinking about maybe working down a little bit down my path there, but honestly, if I get in there, I'm just gonna get into a slippery and muddy mess, and it's probably just a waste of fuel. So more than anything else, I think this trip is just more just to come down and just check on things and look around, just enjoy a day of being in the woods, seeing what we've done, what we've got left to do. Well, the Jeep fired up. That's good. We'll drive it around a little bit. Got the choke on. Let it get warmed up. Well, that was fun. I just took the Jeep down the road, went down to check on Howard and Andy's place, and there's a truck at Andy's place, and it turns out it's not Andy's place anymore. So I met my new neighbor, Rick Mosley, bought Andy's place about a month ago. He owns the little 3 acres down here next to us. Going to make a little hunting camp there. He's down there today. Real nice guy. He's from Dyersburg, Tennessee. So that's pretty cool. And spent some time talking to him, getting to know him. Well, we changed numbers, and I introduced him around to who all is wherever, all the other neighbors, kind of where they all are. And I went down to the field and kind of just checked everything over down by Howard's cabin. All right, well, it's about 2:30, and I almost left an hour and a half ago. Just because it's so muddy, you really can't do much. But I got to looking at the parking area up here. And I had more gravel in this area. Really, it's pretty thick. And what I decided to do was push back that back wall and clean that up. And now when we bring the camper in here, we'll back it up the driveway and we'll stick it. Originally, we're going to stick it right back on the back side of this. And that'll still leave us room to park a couple of cars. It used to come out about even to the pole. And so I've extended it back about 5 more feet. And I've, kind of made a little bit of a mess in here. It's a little thinner, really, than I wanted to get it. But, I've got to bring in more gravel eventually anyway. Really, the gravel right now is just to keep us from walking on mud. And that's about it. So it doesn't have to be really nice and smooth underneath the camper. Just needs to be clean enough so that if you have to crawl underneath there, you're not laying on dirt or mud. So the new camper, fifth wheel, the idea now is to go ahead and back it in here and set it up long ways this way, and it'll plug in here. Water is just right up there, and so we'll have that. And then I'll probably dig a trench across this little opening here. This is where the new campers are going to come in through the woods back there. I'll probably go ahead and trench that and put a 3-inch or 4-inch septic line underneath there, and then back in the woods back there just a little ways. Dig my septic tank, and I think that will be fine. But that's about all I want to do today. I'm kind of tired. I'm getting hungry. It's getting hot. I've got a little issue with my hip that is not doing great right now, so kind of needing to get some rest on that, and drive back to Franklin. That's it from Battle Grove.